What's happening? What do you say we take a few minutes and talk about some of the features and meet your brand new Forest River Salem FSX? Congratulations on getting your brand new Forest River Salem FSX. Let's talk a little bit about some of the features on the outside and inside. Going to start right up front where we have our hand controls for our tongue jack. As you can see, you just crank it to raise it and lower it. Right behind there will be your 20-pound LP tank connected to the line. If you are going to do a direct feed, you got the connector for that right there. You'll also notice that you'll have an external battery disconnect located on the frame. Nice little safety feature. The key also is removable. And speaking of the frame, powder coated on these frames. Come around to the campsite. You got your little 10 amp quick connect for your solar panels if you want to keep them there. All of your luggage doors and storage doors are going to be magnetic and anti-slam. You'll see your pass-through storage and your tool for your stabilizers right here. So your stabilizers, this is pretty easy. You know, you got the drive nut right there. Just get that hooked on, raise and lower your stabilizer jacks right there. Now with your steps, you're gonna have those steel fold-up steps. Just be careful with these because they are a little bit clunky. If you don't feel comfortable, have somebody help you out. Fold the bottom step up, grab, lift, and stow away. And then to get them out, just pull them out. Make sure that they're all the way down on both sides. And there you go. If you need to, you can always get the additional step to add there, that little travel step, because that does help, especially if your campground is uneven. You're gonna have the Solera 12-volt awning on this with the adjustable pitch. And if you're gonna adjust the pitch of your awning, two things. Number one, try to be on the inside before you adjust it, because when you pull down, there could be some moisture, some water up there that could come down, give you a little impromptu shower. The other thing is once you get done, be sure that it's back level so that when you roll the awning in, it doesn't go in cockeyed or cause any problems. You do have the nitro-filled tires on these with the Dexter Easy Lube axles. Always talk to your tech or your specialist about how often do I need to lube those Dexter Easy Lube axles. One rule of thumb that we say is, 1 or 2 pumps every 1,000 miles, but always ask the specialist, depending on where you live. It could vary, just always check that out. You will have some outside power options as well with a GFCI outlet right there. Your awning will also have a LED light strip. If you do have the little external kitchens, external storage, you'll have the Everchill fridge right there, and you'll see good little space for outside. Plus you got the mini tray and the little mini freezer compartment, plus 110 and dual USB charging. Your rear stabilizer jack, sewer hose storage, external shower with hot and cold, great feature. Backup camera as well, already there. Cable, satellite connection, as well as your low point drains underneath. And here are your main terminations. Now, with these, you'll notice that the terminations, the tanks, are denoted by the color of the handles. Gray handle for gray tank, black handle for black tank. And one of the things we like to tell people is when you're set up at the campsite, you don't need to keep those open all the time, especially the black tank, because pyramiding can take effect and that solid waste can build up and not fully get washed out. That could cause some issues. So just leave them closed. When you go to dump the black first and then the gray. If you do have a black tank flush, make sure you use the water hose, not your drinking water hose. Put that in there and make sure the black tank is open before you apply any water pressure. Got your 30 amp plug right here. If you're lucky enough to have a little LED indicator light on your plug to let you know you got power, that's great. But you push it in, you lock it, you turn it to lock it, and then you screw it in. Just check the power post, make sure the breakers are operational. Fresh tank and city water fill right here. And with the fresh tank, you'll notice we also have a little vent right there because as you're putting water in, the air will come out. If the water starts shooting out, that means you got it full. Back of our water heater right here. Now, a few things to note about this water heater. So number one, if you're going to change the anode rod, this is your pressure release valve right here. Pull that to release the pressure, water will drain out. This is your manual reset. You push both of those to reset it. Right here is your flame tube and your igniter over here, as well as the flash cover. One of the things and your anode rod is located right down there. You'll see the threading, just replace that, maybe once a year. But propane has mercaptan in it. That's a smell that bugs love. Spiders, bees, wasps, dirt daubers, they love it. So if you got it in storage, or sometimes even not, you'll notice that there might be webbing or whatever in there, some dirt, some grime, some bug debris. Take some pipe cleaners and clean that flash tube out. That'll help make sure that the water heater is operational. Another thing to check out is if you do have this locked into place and you notice black debris up the side of your RV, that means there's either something blocking the flash pan or flash cover, or the tube is dirty. Just get that cleaned out. You don't feel comfortable doing it, bring it in. Our folks will take care of it for you. You got the Suburban 20K BTU furnace on your FSX. This is the vent. Exhaust vent for it right here. Just make sure you don't block that with chairs or anything, because that is hot air. Other side, you pass through storage, and just all around good sturdy little RV. And we've talked about the outside. Now let's go talk about the inside. Okay, once you come inside your Forest River Salem FSX, probably one of the things you want to look for first is your command panel. This is the KIB command panel right here. You'll see that you got your water pump, your water heater, and your lights. Your water pump, you really don't want to run unless you're dry docking. You're hooked up to city water connection, you won't need it. Cut that on for your water heater. You'll see the DSI try to light up. If it does light, that'll go out, meaning your water heater now has been, the fire's running. Your lights, your awning, or your slide, depending on what you have. This will always be the slide control first, and then the awning over here. But up for out, down for in. Check your battery, check your fresh tank, your black and your grays. Now, if you go to run the slides out, or the slide out on your FSX, and you're using the battery power, but it's not running, if you hit this and you're below 2/3, chances are you don't have enough power to run the slide out. Same thing with your tanks. If you flush them and you know that you flushed them, they're empty, but you go to check them, the black and the gray tank are still showing like 2/3 or even full. There's two sensors on those tanks, and sometimes the water can cause a continuity stream between the two sensors. So just give that a chance to drip down the side of the tank, maybe like 15 minutes, come back and check it, and you should be good to go. You'll notice too, you'll have dual USB charging ports all the way throughout. You'll have, if you do have the booth dinette like we have here, plush, comfortable, plus it does reduce down into a sleeper. All you do is you just take this off the legs. You'll see that there is a spot for it to rest. You just put that down, put the cushions over top of it, and now you got yourself a bed. You also have some storage underneath. There's just a little plywood panel right there covering it up. Just be careful, because I've gotten a splinter many times moving those panels. You'll also have on your shades, you'll have these pull down shades. If you notice that when you pull them down, things are beginning to get a little loose. They're not beginning to stay as well as they should. Take your finger and just run the string around this knob right here. Just make sure you do it on both sides. What that'll do is that'll strengthen it back up and give it the support it needs to stay down or stay up. If you do have a skylight and a vent, you'll notice it's a turn knob to open your vent and close it, and either a push button or a little switch to run the fan. Your FSX will also come, I'll let Bob get on the other side of that one there, with this Coleman Mach 13,500 BTU air conditioner that's roof mounted. You got high, low, both fan and cool, and right here are your temperature controls. If you want to close the vents, you just push it there. That still lets a little bit of air out, just makes it a little bit quieter. This is really when you want to get that air going, and you got your filters on both sides. Now, if you got bunks, they'll both be supported. They'll both have those mushroom lights, those little mushroom LED lights. And you got your Suburban controls for your furnace right over here. You just cut it on by making it either colder or warmer, whatever you want. Now, inside your kitchen, you'll have the Everchill 12-volt fridge freezer combo. And the controls for this are very simple. This controls how cold your freezer is, cold and colder. Down here is a push button for your fridge controls. And if you want to cut it off and on, you just push and hold for 10 seconds. Now, these are 12-volt fridges, so you can run them off the coach battery, but I always suggest getting the solar panels because they do pull a lot of power and you don't want to run out of juice when you need it most. Your kitchen, you'll have an undermounted sink with a high-rise faucet with covers giving you more prep space, and you'll have either the Greystone or the Furion appliances for cooking. If it is the Greystone 2-burner, they're going to work pretty much the same as the 3-burner. You got the glass cover. You just figure out which one you want to cut on. So if I want to do the front burner, I'm going to do this one. I'm going to push it in and you hear it clicking. That means it's trying to light. Now, if you have propane and you know your propane tanks are open and it's flowing, and you go to push in and you see the igniter firing, but you're still not getting any flame, check to make sure you got propane. You can also lift this up and remove this faceplate. There's a little connector for your igniter that sometimes while you're traveling will become disconnected. Just check for that. Still not working? Bring it in, let our folks take a look at it. Whether you have the Greystone or the Furion microwave, that'll be placed up here. You could also have the convection microwave, the big 30-incher. That's a nice little feature. Dual USB and GFCI outlets pretty much all over, as well as the LP and O2 detector right there. This right here is my 20,000 BTU furnace. Right here, one of the most important parts is going to be your fuse and breaker box. Now, what's great about these fuses is if one of them is at fault or broken, it'll be a red light in the middle of that fuse. So if you go to try to run the AC or the microwave, you're still not getting any electricity, check to make sure you're plugged in at the post, check to make sure the battery disconnect is where it needs to be, and then check this. If you've done all of that, everything looks okay, you don't have a bad fuse, bring it in, let our folks at Camping World take a look at it for you. Inside your bathroom, you're gonna have a high-rise plastic bowl. It's a Dometic with the foot flush and a little rubber seal. Now, if you ever notice that the seal isn't holding the water, what you can do is just take some Vaseline and just rub it around the bottom of that black rubber seal, and that'll try to help keep it in place for you. Single basin sink there with hot and cold. Another GFCI outlet. Single surround shower in these with the vent. Same way as the vent in the kitchen. Turn to open and close. Push button to activate the fan. I got hot and cold right there on my shower, plus the little push stopper on my shower controls. Very easy to use. Now let's go check out the master. So, whether you got the Versa system or you just have, a jackknife sofa, whatever, if you do not feel comfortable, or if you, got a hurt back or something and you want to set up like the Murphy bed system like we have here, try to get somebody to help you. But fairly simple. You just remove the cushions. They should be Velcroed on because you'll notice they have Velcro straps on the back of them. And they've made the Murphy bed systems way easier over the years. Lift that up, move it out the way, bring that down. Just once again, always be careful. You got the foam mattresses. And just make sure you don't catch the sheet on the hook. And there you go. You'll also have dual USB and power on both the camp and the off-camp side. Sometimes if you have the ward storage and the dual USB on the outside, you'll have the 110 on the inside of the storage compartment there. And if you have a TV backer, as well as your cable and satellite connection, just ask your specialist about this. Most of the time, the rule of thumb is set for a 32-inch TV, but always ask. Say, hey, I want to put a 65-incher right here. Not going to work. Check your specialist, make sure you get the right thing. And your FSX is also going to come pre-wired for Wi-Fi, 4G LTE extension. But hopefully, this has been a pretty helpful video for you, hopefully, to help you enjoy your new Forest River Salem FSX. Great lightweight travel trailer for you and the family. If at any time you have any questions or you don't know how to use something inside your RV, come by or give us a call at your local Camping World or Gander. Over 180 locations where you can bring your RV in. We'll help you try to get whatever done you need done. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure you enjoy that RV as much as humanly possible.